Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Darren Pierce with Sage. I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and kick off with the presentation. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to join in, and hope you're having an excellent Wednesday. So what we're going to be doing is, of course, taking a look at the advantages of the Sage estimating solution and the benefits it can provide for your company. A couple housekeeping items here is we are going to keep everybody on mute through the duration of the presentation. We're going to be recording this, and then what I'll do is once we're done with this, send this out to everyone that's registered and attended, and not actually for that matter, just so you have a recording and you can review it, share it with the group, and of course have my information as well if you have any questions or any additional information that I can provide for you. I expect the presentation probably to go around the 45-minute to 55-minute range. I'll be covering quite a bit of stuff and usually take up almost the full hour. So you can start your stopwatch by that. And we'll go ahead and jump on in and take a look at the estimating suite. And by the way, I've been with Sage for about 15 years now, and you may hear me call it Timberline, which of course back in the day it used to be Timberline. So it is Sage Estimating, but I may slip and say Timberline every now and again. So let's go ahead and take a look at it and get started with. I promise not to PowerPoint you to death. That is not the objective of what we're looking at today, but at least want to throw some concepts at you as far as what the feedback has been with customers, clients jumping in and using our system, and also some of the things that we look at that we resolve for those customers as we go along. So standardization, when I look at this and talk about standardization, worked with many companies over the years that have multiple estimators. And each one of those individuals has their own methodologies, their own process. And what we can do, of course, get them into a very robust solution that you can take advantage of and standardize those methodologies, but still have the customization or the capability to be specific to each individual. And of course, when we get in the presentation, we'll look at that. And then, of course, giving you the option of multiple takeoff methods. Very important. You know, some of our customers only use what we call item takeoff. Some only exclusively use what we call model takeoff or model estimating. So we'll talk about those concepts, take a look at all the multiple takeoff methods that we have within the system. At the very end, what we will do is jump into digital takeoff and show a very brief look at that as well. I do a full presentation of this, but always like to include it because it's a very important part of the workflow depending upon how you do your takeoff. And then, of course, when we look at the flexibility the system brings to the table, so much to make it specific to your business, and very pliable application and pliable database as well. And we'll talk a little bit about that as we go through. And one of the other things that we look at that's really important is, of course, being able to access historical estimates. As a matter of fact, in a lot of my conversations, where do we look for information on new projects come in? We've done a project like this. We look to the past, usually for any benchmarking type of information, pricing, those types of things. So we'll take a look at what we can do to accommodate that need. And then last but not least, but really should be the highlighter, is integration. If you're working with our Sage accounting solutions, then we fully integrate with those applications, address book, and then so many other different things. We won't line all of those out. I'll talk about that a little bit during the presentation. But those are just a few of the concepts I want to bring up to think about as we go through. But there's so many other benefits and things that the solution will offer as you look at the application. So let's go ahead. Told you to be brief. Don't want to PowerPoint you to death. That is the worst thing that can happen.